It's recommended that we have a minimum of 7 hours of sleep a night if we want any chance of maintaining overall wellness and performing at our best both physically and mentally. But that's often easier said than done, because along with the normal stresses of life and other circumstances like illness, travel demands, or sleep training a baby, it's not uncommon for sleeping habits to be disrupted, and this can be problematic. In this video, I'm going to share 6 scientifically grounded tips that you can try for yourself when you need to get back to sleep on those occasions when you wake up in the middle of the night. Let's dive in. Hi, I'm Nick, and I'm a husband, dad, pops, registered counselor, and certified coach. And on this channel, I share practical ideas and tools designed to help you manage and succeed in life. If, like me, you're committed to your own personal development and want to take steps to living your best life, I've got you covered. So subscribe, like, leave a comment, and make sure you click on the bell icon to be notified of future videos. But before we get into it, if as part of your development, you really want to get super clear on how you want your life to look in the next few years, then download my free 5-step guide to creating your ideal future. I'll put a link to it in the description. We've all seen those films when someone is being held prisoner and interrogated by their captors. And what we also see is where these captors prevent them from sleeping as a way of breaking down their resilience. And this is because they know the impact of sleep deprivation, that with time, missing out on sleep will have a negative effect on the physical, emotional, and mental well-being of their prisoner. And the same is true for us. The cumulative impact of disturbed sleep takes its toll. In other words, it slowly limits our resilience to cope with life and our ability to function and perform at our best. So that said, let's talk through 6 tips for getting back to the important business of snoozing when your sleep is disrupted during the night. First on the list is guided breathing. Though practicing meditation before bed has been shown to be an effective way to improve sleep, unless you're an experienced meditator, you may need the help of an app to get you started. Now, if this is the case, it's probably best not to go down this road, because an app on a phone or digital device will mean screen time, which when it comes to sleep is an absolute no-no. However, you can still get into a meditative state by trying some guided breathing. Guided breathing is good because it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which causes you to feel relaxed. Though there are several different breathing techniques, the 4-7-8 breathing technique conceived by Dr. Andrew Will is a really good example. So, next time you're feeling restless during the night, try breathing in for 4 seconds, holding your breath for 7 seconds, and exhaling for 8. Do this at least 4 times, then repeat until you start to feel sleepy again. Number 2 on the list is to avoid blue light. I know it's easy because I've done it myself, but when waking up in the middle of the night, try your best to avoid the temptation to pick up your phone and start checking messages or social media. The most obvious reason for this is that by looking at social media, emails, messages, or news feeds, you'll stimulate your brain, which will make it even harder for you to get back to sleep. Another reason is that blue light causes your body to produce less melatonin, which is the hormone that helps you to feel sleepy in the first place. And although all light reduces melatonin production, blue light is particularly potent. So, if like me, you struggle to resist the temptation to scroll when you wake up in the middle of the night, it might be helpful to put your phone somewhere out of reach before going to bed. The third on the list is the one I've learned more recently, and it's this. When you wake up in the middle of the night, do not check the time. Don't even peek. I used to make this mistake all the time, and funnily enough, it was always around the 3:30, 4 a.m. mark. And it was horrible because all I did until my alarm went off was worry about how soon I'd need to get up. The clock watching was unbearable, and all it did was make me more anxious. So if like me, you can sometimes find yourself checking the time when you get up in the middle of the night, it might be worth keeping your time revealing device out of sight from now on. Right, before we move on to the last 3 tips for getting back to snoozing when your sleep is disturbed during the night, please let me know if you're finding value in this video by clicking the like button. Your click makes a huge difference because it helps YouTube know I'm offering something of value. Okay, number 4, do a boring activity. On those occasions where counting sheep doesn't seem to be working for you anymore and you're becoming increasingly more frustrated with your neighbor's ticking clock, it can help to just get up and do an activity. Now with this, you need to be careful. What you're not trying to do is overstimulate your brain. Instead, you want to choose an activity that will relax you, and most importantly, one that can be done in low light. A really good example would be to do some coloring in. So keeping an adult colouring in book and some pencils beside your bed may be a good idea. This kind of relaxing activity might also help you return to getting some well-needed shut-eye. Number 5 on the list is to do a body scan. Another mindfulness technique which may be helpful is progressive muscle relaxation or body scanning. This involves focusing on tensing and then relaxing each part of your body. Progressive muscle relaxation can be a really effective way to reduce anxiety and any tension in your body. And it's also useful because by focusing on your body, you start to quiet the chatter in your mind. Also, because it's fairly easy to do, you can try it while you're laying down. To get going, start by paying attention to your breathing. Then, as you inhale, begin to tense a muscle group and relax the same muscle group as you exhale. Start with your forehead and eyebrows, then working your way down to your neck and shoulders before continuing down your body to your feet and toes. Then simply repeat as needed. The 6th and final tip may seem counterintuitive, but I must admit it really works for me. But not just for me, because research trials have found that people who write a to-do list just before going to bed fall asleep by as much as 9 minutes faster. The idea here is that by writing down what you need to get done, you offload them from your mind because you know you have them safe and ready to get sorted out when you get up in the morning. But what's important to remember with this last tip is that the list needs to be completed before you go to bed. And also it needs to be a written list, not a mental one. Okay, there you have it, 6 scientifically grounded tips for getting back to sleep when you wake up in the middle of the night. Let's do a quick recap. Number 1, try some guided breathing. The 4-7-8 technique is a good place to start. 2, avoid blue light as it reduces melatonin, your relaxation hormone. 3, resist checking the time as it can cause you to be more anxious. 4, complete a boring activity in low light as this will help you relax. 5, do some progressive muscle relaxation to remove any unhelpful tension. And finally, number 6, write a to-do list to clear from your mind the tasks you have for the next day. And remember, your sleeping habits will have a direct impact on your overall well-being and your daily functioning. Okay, we've reached the end of this video, so here's a quick question for you before we finish. Which of the 6 tips shared in this video would you be most likely to try first? I'd love to hear from you, so take a moment to share in the comments. And also, if you found this video helpful, please click the like button, subscribe, and click on the bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Rooting for you. Be well.